and get ready for race day with Mission Foods, the world's best.
Welcome to the rolling hills of Lexington, Ohio, where the track winds like a serpent through the heart of the Midwest. This is the legendary Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. 13 turns, 2.4 miles, and one of the most technically demanding battlegrounds in American road racing. With perfect weather on tap and full fields in both the TA and TA2 classes, today's racing promises edge-of-your-seat drama. Veterans and rising stars alike will trade paint and test their limits through the notorious carousel and the high-speed straights. Every corner offers a challenge. Every lap is a chance to rise or fall. And today, every driver aims to leave their mark in Ohio. This is the Trans Am Racing Series, presented by Pirelli. It's a live look here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course in Lexington, Ohio. Ralph Sheheen and Mr. 100 Adam Andretti here with us after making his 100th start yesterday as we get ready for Trans Am presented by Pirelli with the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series lined up on the grid and ready to go. Adam, this should be a really warm race for these drivers sitting inside these cars.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day out there at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. It's hot, though. It's hot. The breeze saves you, but inside these Q3 Architecture TA2 cars, you don't get much of a breeze. So, yeah, definitely making sure your cool shirt, any kind of cooling devices you're using, that you're well hydrated and that you were prepared for this weekend. So, I tell you, when I was a younger driver, the heat bothered me a lot more as I got older, more conditioned to it. So I think, honestly, it affects the younger drivers more. I know that seems counterintuitive, but it's just kind of the way it goes. The heat is so wretched inside these cars. There's just no movement in there. So it'll be interesting. It's going to make for some great racing today, and that surface temperature of the track is going to make the difference.
Well, let's take a look at qualifying from yesterday, the TA2 Championship machines.
And Barry Bowe's getting his best qualifying ever in his Keep 3 Architecture TA2 career, and Jared Aldrich, and I believe took the Pro-Am pole. But great highlight reel here. But yeah, Jared's come a long way. He and I had a nice conversation yesterday about what's, and then you got Sam Corey here, pole man in the SLR car.
Tom Sheheen there. But it was really all about Corey Day at the end of this one.
Yeah, sorry, it's not Sam Corey. My apologies. Corey Day, my apologies.
Corey setting the track record on his way to winning the pole here. And getting his first pole in Cube 3 TA2. So you get a little over 2 miles here and some 13 turns. And you hear everybody say it's so hard to pass here.
You do. It is difficult to pass, but it's not impossible. It's definitely not impossible to pass here. But you gotta understand the track and understand where those opportunities are, and you got to be opportunistic in the mistakes too, because this is Mid-Ohio sports car course. It is as you alluded to on that intro, that wonderful intro, this is one of the most technical tracks anywhere that you'll ever find, and mistakes come quick, often, and in a hurry here from even the best drivers. So capitalizing on those mistakes, recognizing when they're there, and pouncing and completing the pass. Difficult, but definitely you can accomplish it here.
So Andy Lally, the president of the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli, has raced here a ton of times. In fact, he was an instructor here even at the driving school. So we jumped on board with Andy to get a lap of Mid-Ohio to find out how you get around here.
We are pulling on track to the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, one of the longest running courses in the nation. Very smooth exit out of pit lane here, not too dangerous. You blend offline, which is really nice, unlike a lot of tracks that we run on in North America here. Nice and easy out of lane here, up to the keyhole. A very late braking, uphill, early turn in, double apex corner, where we typically in the TA2 cars are going to be braking about the 150 marker. A slight early turn in, and typically with a corner this tight, you're going to understeer a bit in these cars. So we're going to use some of that apex curb, let it out in the middle, pause just enough as we fall off like a 2-foot little cliff in the middle of the corner. Let the car point as we launch down the long straightaway that we have here, which is coming down to turn 4. It's downhill the whole way, so your top speed is actually pretty decent here. TA2 cars are well over 150 miles an hour. TA cars are upwards of 175 miles an hour. Very, very friendly curbing at Mid-Ohio. Most of the curbs, except for turn 1 and turn 13, are extremely usable. You sacrifice a little bit of exit out of turn 5 to set yourself up back to the left side for the entrance to turn 6. Charging into Thunder Valley, all weights on the left side, and we're off camera. And we got to gently get on the brakes, turn it in a little bit early, use again a lot of that curbing coming up to turn 11 here. It's just a little bit of a brake, one downshift here. Our apex is right at the beginning of the curb, and we're looking to get right back on throttle, use up all the exit, and we're not going to get back over to the left for the carousel, which is our final corner coming just before the kink coming on in the straightaway here. We'll actually brake at the inside, kind of cover our inside from attack, let it out a little bit in the middle, just maybe 3/4 of a car width. Be patient here. Let the car get through that slow, tight corner point and pull the trigger one time to come onto a very easy, flat, last little bend / kink before the start-finish line to take that checker flag and finish our lap at Mid-Ohio.
And Ollie does a great job of explaining this wonderful Mid-Ohio sports car cars. It really, honestly, we're built out here in the country of Central Ohio and Lexington, Ohio, with this racetrack, and that's what it feels like. You're on an old country road that only you know. The Mid-Ohio school where he and I have both taught here, it's a fabulous place to come learn how to drive a race car, but not only that, drive a car, period, but really to drive this racetrack is something special to learn some of those nuances. But yeah, he nailed every aspect of this track, Ralph Sheheen, and some of the great things that we see here, like the keyhole and the whole downhill run to turn 4, and on the madness that goes on from turn 4 to turn 9. And this is definitely one of my absolute favorite places in the country to be.
All right, well, we're getting ready to get this one underway. So we've got a little bit more pre-race for you when we come back here to Mid-Ohio. But the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series is ready to race live right here on Speed Sport 1. Stay with us.
Yes. Hon, the weather tech's here.
WeatherTech is the ultimate protection for your vehicle. Laser measured floor liners, no drill mud flaps, cargo liner, bump step, seat protector, and cup phone.
What about my car?
WeatherTech.
Hawk Performance packs 100 years of friction dynamics in every product. Backed by Carlisle Brake and Friction, the world's premier innovator of industrial brake and friction components, Hawk leverages R&D tools and motorsport experience to deliver uncompromising performance on the street. There's no reason to settle for less. Choose pads that are race-proven and legal. Find the Hawk Performance brake dealer near you at hawkperformance.com.
What does it mean to be built with Summit? It means you're hitting the autocross, drag strip, road course, trail, dirt, or open road with confidence. Because built with Summit means you're using parts from the top names in performance, priced to make your project affordable. And it's all backed by trusted tech expertise and blazing fast shipping. Summit Racing Equipment. Let's build it together. SummitRacing.com.
Back here live at Mid-Ohio on Speed Sport 1. Hope you're ready for some great racing on this Sunday afternoon because we're going to have a good one here. Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series. There's the grid all formed up on pit road. And down there amongst the fans is the third member of our crew. Here's Ben Sissel.
Well, thank you so much, Ralph. And let me tell you, I live in the South. We're here at Mid-Ohio, and it is hot. And I'll tell you something else. It's rained here a lot at Mid-Ohio. I get a lot more nervous about the safety of our drivers and our crew in races like this where it's super hot than I do with downpour rain. So we really need to watch out for that. And it's going to be kind of a war of attrition that Keith Prochuk and I were talking about today, because Keith Prochuk, one of our fastest drivers with HP tuners, but he's kind of the mid to the back, and I'm not used to seeing that. But your strategy is this is a war of attrition. How are you feeling right now?
I mean, I feel pretty good. I kind of feel oversaturated or overhydrated right now. It's going to be hot. I try to stay in the trailer as long as possible this morning just to stay cool. But, yeah, we got a race next weekend, so quick turnaround time. We want to bring the cars back in one piece. Yeah, back third of the pack. My qualifying wasn't that great. My main competition's over there in P3, so we got some work to do. But, yeah, it's going to be keeping it clean, keeping it there at the end. It's over an hour-long race. It's going to be hot, so yeah, we're just going to run laps, pick up positions where we can, but I think it'll be more of a safer race, this race, than a bit more aggressive like some of our other races. Like Road America will probably be very aggressive. I think this is going to be a bit more conservative.
Nice. And he's got pressure on him, too, because a lot of his HP Tuner employees are going to be coming to Road America because he's just down the road in Chicago. So good luck to Keith Prochuk. Then we're coming over here. Look at this. Side by side are two professional athletes outside of the Trans Am Series. So we spoke to Jared Odrick last year. So if I ever come to anybody that would be kind of what I'd consider a conditioning expert in this field, in this heat, it would be an ex-NFL player like Jared Odrick. So what's your preparation?
Preparation is a lot of liquids, a lot of fluid, a lot of sleep, and even not just on grid, but at all times leading up to this, keeping the body temperature down. A lot of good sugar right beforehand. So I had a bunch of dates and a bunch of electrolytes, and just trying to stay cool. And that's what we do here in these Cool Box Cool shirts.
See, there you go. He's wearing the Cool Box Cool shirt. He's going to be out there staying cool. Thank you, Jared Odrick, running in Pro-Am. Mia Lovell is over there. Sorry about that. Signing autographs. Oh, let's go talk to Eric Caton, running out here in this beautiful Ray Skillman Auto Group. How are you feeling right now? You're smart. You're under the umbrella. I know you've been watching. You've been watching Bill race today. How are you feeling?
I'm actually feeling pretty good. This is my third time here. That's the first time I've been able to race at the track multiple times. So we had a little more left in qualifying, so I feel really, really good about that. So.
I love it. Well, good luck out there. Eric Caton running his Ford Mustang Ray Skillman Auto Group. They are an auto group, auto sales out of Central Indiana. So go check them out if you're in the area. Now, Ben Mayer, man, I'm so excited to have you back in the series. I miss you. I knew that you were coming in. The plan was to come to Mid-Ohio and the next week to Road America, but you've got a special announcement to make here live. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing my NASCAR truck debut at Lime Rock next weekend, and hopefully it goes well. We're just going to try and put my head down and do as well as I can. And also here, had a little trouble in practice figuring out the car, but hopefully we can get it a little better in the race and do well.
Nice. I love it. I love it. Well, what number will you be at Lime Rock?
02.
02 at Lime Rock in the Craftsman Truck Series. Now, Julian DaCosta, look at this. And I put some pressure on you earlier in the week, and I said, I think this might be my favorite liveried car in the TA2 Series. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Obviously, it's a very warm day today, but livery looks great, track looks good, and I think it's going to be a good race. I'm looking forward to it. I think I'll see you at the end, so I'm excited. I'm excited.
I like the confidence. He says, I'm going to see you at the end. What he means by that is he'll see me at winner's circle. So I like that. Now, two-time Mid-Ohio winner, Thomas Merrill. And I was speaking to Thomas in the shade earlier. He doesn't wear any kind of cooling thing. He wears this cooling shirt, but he doesn't like the iceless or the ice systems. He doesn't like any of that because you think they don't work. It's mental. I don't know, but it's hot out here, Thomas. How you feeling about that strategy now?
Well, it's going to be hard either way, but I'm old school. I like what I got going. It works for me. And it's just going to be about playing the long game. So our HP Tuners Camaro has been a lot faster this weekend than it has been so far, so we're hoping to be there at the end.
Nice. I love it. Thomas Merrill. Gian Buffamonte over here. I was speaking to his dad, Tony, and Gian doing really well in the points. He had a second-place finish. Where are you in the points? Are you 8th?
I think I'm 8th or 7th in the points right now.
Nice. Now, you're from the Chicago area, so this is, you know, it gets like this in the summertime, hot and humid. What's your preparation today?
Just drank a lot of liquids, a lot of Gatorade water, got the cool shirt going, and it should be a good one. Should be fun.
And now I just want to point out, look at all this real estate here on this car for sponsorships. Gian Buffamonte running for a championship, doing really well in the top 10, 8th he thinks. So look out for Gian Buffamonte and give him a call if you want to be on this beautiful car. When we come over here, we'll talk to Noah, but I just want to point out something publicly and apologize. One of my trackside signs, my mission sign, did a little bit of damage to this car, and I feel terrible about that. I'm so sorry. But you're running out here under the umbrella. There's clouds now, finally. How you feeling?
Feeling good. Just been trying to stay hydrated this morning, and it's going to be a hot race. Definitely the hottest I've had in TA2, so just been talking to Rafa and trying to help me try to stay hydrated for this race.
Nice. And how are you going to get the Street Side Classic silver hair car up to the front?
It's going to be a long, hot race, so just try to pick off cars one at a time, and we have the pace in the silver hair car thanks to Q3 and Street Side Classics, so looking forward to moving forward through the field.
And you're side by side with a teammate going into what is that, turn 4 down there at the start. That's got to feel good.
Yeah, it'll be good. We had a conversation. We're going to give each other room and be safe, just try to make it through the first few corners there.
Hold on a second. We got some kids wanting to be on TV. Hey, you can't jump in the back of the screen like that and not get me to talk to you. So I like the Trans Am shirts. Are you having fun here?
Yes. Fun is not enough. We're having way more than fun. This is Trans Am, baby!
Well, there's our promo for our next event right there. Nice job. I love it. So I'm seeing a lot of Cube 3 and some Trans Am shirts walking through here. Another one of, yeah, we need to pay that kid, exactly. Another one of these cars that has a lot of real estate on it. A really good driver, Sam Corey. It's a hot one out there, but you just were here just a couple weeks ago right after Lime Rock and in testing, and you like Mid-Ohio, don't you?
I do. It's not that bad outside. It feels pretty good, working on my tan a little bit. But, yeah, should be a good day, and we got a fast race car, so we'll get after it.
Yeah. So some of these Mooresville, North Carolina guys, this is just a regular spring day to them. So they're probably pretty used to it. Adrian Lostovsky over here with the CMI car. I see some of his group, but I don't see Adrian out here. So, Billy, how you guys feeling about this car today and this heat and everything?
Pretty good. We're ready. We're ready. He's ready, so we're going to go after it and do what we can. Go to the front.
Be up front, yeah, just man a few words. I'm going to come up here. I want to talk to the M1 drivers because we've got Thomas Annunziata here in the GR90 starting 4th. But 1, 2, 3, a big storyline is our M1 drivers. If we could get Barry to come up here real quick, I want to talk to all 3 of them because they somehow figured it out. Lagasse Jr., get in here. I was very impressed with the qualifying, but Barry in Pro-Am finishing 3rd. Corey, you're on the pole. Tristan McKee is right there next to him. Lagasse, you guys figured out Mid-Ohio, one of our most complicated tracks on the season.
I don't know that, obviously our guys have been working hard, right? We've got a great group and the M1 cars are great, but I'm going to put this one on the drivers this time. The amount of prep work they did here, Scott Speed and Josh Wise, they're executing, and they executed all weekend. Better every session, better every corner. We mentioned something, so they used each other, worked together. It's a team, and it's been fun to see.
I don't know if we've ever had a driver only do 3 events and then be on the pole. That's amazing. Corey, how you feeling?
Yeah, good, of course. We'll try and go repeat, that lap and my laps in practice for 45 laps today. I'm curious how I'm going to be up front. I haven't got to be up front in one of these races, and frankly, I haven't had a lot of green flag laps yet. The 2 races I've ran have been under caution, and it rained in Sonoma. So, I'm excited to get a long run here, see how the tires fall off, and see how it goes.
Tristan, quickly, this is maybe your 2nd time here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course?
Yeah, I've just tested here before, but first race.
Qualified P2, very good. But the one I probably am most proud of in the Pro-Am, Barry Bowes, ASIO data in M1, and your Pro-Am competitors are pretty far back there. You've got a good cushion, Barry.
I feel fantastic. The cushion's great, but I'm here to race, and I'm here to race hard and clean. So I'm going to do the best. I'm going to finish the best I possibly can. Not interfere with the national race, but race as hard as I can. This team is absolutely incredible. We work together, and we do well together. Right? Tristan will come in and say, hey, I was looking at some stuff, and maybe you should think about doing this, right? Or, maybe my coach is looking at some of my stuff and says, hey, Tristan, come over here, right? And we're doing the same thing with Corey. And working together to do better together is incredible.
I love it. Teamwork makes a dream work. I'm going to send it back up to you guys in the booth, and we're going to get going with the invocation.
All right, so we've heard all of the insight there, Adam. I know you paid close attention to everything you heard. Anybody or anything sticking out to you as you get ready for this one?
What we just ended there on these SLR cars, M1 chassis dominating here at Mid-Ohio this weekend thus far with the top 3 positions being locked out. Barry Bowes by far 3rd overall, his best ever qualifying position is pretty impressive to see. And then these 2 youngsters on the front row is super, super impressive. Now M1 and SLR have always brought their game to Mid-Ohio, but nothing like this.
Well, Ben's not done yet. He has a little bit more for us. Take it away, Ben.
Well, I'm down here with Bill Knox, he's kind of like our road pastor out here, but also works in the Trans Am Series with Road Race Ministries to deliver the invocation. Bill, take it away.
Thank you, Ben. If you'll join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, as we come to you today, we give you all the praise and glory for this glorious day you've provided for us. Father, we ask that you wrap your almighty hands around this facility. Father, that you keep the drivers smart, patient, and most of all, Father, that you keep them safe. And Father, we ask that you step in and protect the world, Father, from each other. Bring our military, first responders, police, and EMS home safe. In your Son's most precious and holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Bill Knox, thank you so much. He's going to be in the pits all day now with this Trans Am race. And then Nikki Dunford delivered a fantastic national anthem yesterday. We've invited her to come back today. Nikki, take it away.
Oh, say, can you see my dawn's dirty light? What so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallant, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Nikki. Well done.
Yeah, beautiful job. Beautiful, beautiful job. And I can't help but notice while we're looking at Old Glory there that we got a pretty stiff breeze. That's a good tailwind going down that back straightaway, Ralph Sheheen, into turn 4.
It sure is. And the guy who's going to be starting on the outside of the front row there in that yellow, black, and white machine, Tristan McKee is the points leader coming from Kannapolis, North Carolina to race with us here today. We had a chance to catch up with the points leader to see how he's feeling about things.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I would like to think that I'm ahead of a lot of kids, some of them that are my age. You know, I'm definitely learning a lot, just taking it in like a sponge. I have so many great mentors, you know, Scott Lagacy, Scott Speed, everyone around here, Josh Wise, all the people from Chevy, you know. So I have so many people, great people around me that teach me so many things. I just have to soak it up. A lot of people say something about my age. They think it's really, really cool, obviously, that I'm so young doing what I have done, but it's all hard work. You know, I've put in a lot into this. My whole life since I started racing has been racing, nothing else. You know, that's all I focused on. So, like I said, I have a lot of great mentors and other people around me that teach me a lot, but it's all hard work at the end of the day. So the driver development deal that I'm in is with Josh Wise and Scott Speed mainly. So they started up a driver development program through Chevy that mainly all the Chevy drivers, not all of them, but a lot of them go through there, and you know, it's driver training really. So we have a gym and all, and we go karting and do all kinds of different things that prepares us for everything that each of us are doing.
Well, Adam, your thoughts on Tristan McKee? I mean, you've taught a lot of racers. What do you think of this young man?
Oh, he's an impressive young man, and right there you just see how laser focused he is, even as a 14-year-old. That's you can't teach that. that's born in, and he's born to do what he's doing right here, and this is his calling. And it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch him do his thing in this Gamebridge Spire Motorsports, Chevrolet Camaro, prepared by obviously Scott Lagacy Racing and M1 Race Cars. So they do a great job over there. This is someone that Scott Lagacy said in Sebring, goes, you keep an eye on this kid, and he was a kid. You know, we've seen it, and he's going to be eager for his first win. He's a points leader, which is great, but racers are. We're all about the wins, and leading points is great, but if you got to rack up those wins.
And he's attracting a lot of attention. You can already see Gamebridge already jumping on board. HendrickCars.com. Mr. H and the folks keeping an eye on Spire Motorsports, hugely involved in a wide variety of things in racing. Obviously a strong connection into the NASCAR world through Spire. So he's definitely got the right representation, the right eyeballs on him, everybody paying attention to this young 14-year-old.
Yeah, and that doesn't happen by accident, right?
No,
you know, like he said, he earned it. He worked hard, and we're excited to see this point of their careers. That's what I love about this Q3.
All right, let's take a look at this racetrack from a little different perspective here, Adam. We went around it with Andy Lally. Actually, we're going to go to Ben first and fire up the engine. Sorry about that, Ben.
Yeah, I'm down here actually with Nick Middleton with Q3 Architecture, the title sponsor of the TA2 Series. And Nick, can you introduce everybody here?
Well, welcome to the family here. They're going to be doing this very shortly. They're having a phenomenal day, seeing all the drivers in the cars here in the paddock, and they're delivering one of the biggest commands in motor racing very shortly. So we're looking forward to that in a few minutes.
And I know that the Make-A-Wish came with us with Bob
Ricardo Jr.
and Coda. And we kind of, as a series, said we'll do anything that we can for Make-A-Wish. And then you came in and said, so will Nick Middleton and so will Cube 3. It's something dear to your heart as well.
This is very much. It's a great organization on a national basis, and we're so happy that we're able to bring this to so many communities around the United States in all these locations we're going. These kids have a phenomenal opportunity here to be engaged with a sport that they really love. They get to sit in the cars. Some of you even got to see them pace laps. But today, again, very hot day, sitting out here on the hot top, but we're going to be going to the Start Your Engine shortly.
Nice, and we're going to hear from Gio here shortly, but tell me a little bit about Gio, because we love meeting these kids, and I can tell in his eyes he's a fighter.
He is. So Gideon was diagnosed with Lennox-Gastaut syndrome, which is a life-threatening type of epilepsy. And so we just live our lives day by day. We never know what's going to happen from one day to the next. And he is so strong and resilient, and he is excited to be here. So.
Nice. I love it. I love it. So now you're here. Are you Gio's brother? How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. It is pretty hot, but despite that, Gio's been doing really well, and I hope he waits for diffs for the racers such as Bob have given him.
Nice. I love that. Nice. Very good. Gio, are you having fun here with the TA2 Series and Cube 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sorry it's so hot, but we're going to get going here. Thank you guys so much for coming out. We're here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Course. Make-A-Wish Foundation is here, but now I'm going to throw the mic down here for the most famous words in motorsports. I need everybody to be super loud. Here we go. To deliver the most famous words in motorsports is the Make-A-Wish kid this weekend, Gio. Take it away.
Drivers, start your engine.
We'll bring them this way.
There you go, Gio. Job well done as the engines come to life here. And Adam, we say it all the time when we see these young fighters like that. We think of these race car drivers like yourself as heroes, but it's those young kids like Gio that are really the true heroes.
Without question. You know, it's such a blessing to be around these individuals, these youngsters that are putting in the fight like they are, and we always wish them and are praying for them and you know, their families, because it's a challenge all around. It's a challenge definitely for that child, but as you just heard it out of that mother's mouth, that they don't know what their day is going to be, and that's just hard on everybody, on the big brother and everybody. So, but what a blessing that they're doing that.
Glad to have you here, Gio, you and your family. We're coming right back on Speed Sport 1 for the start after this.
How good is this? Look at this view from Losowski.
It brings all my fans, it brings the audience into the car with me.
Speed turn, 140 mile an hour entry speeds.
The quickest and most efficient way for me to get information to my drivers is from using the V-Box HD2 system.
Said.
One of the ways you overtake here at Sebring is really good in the braking zone, like this one right here.
Both go around. There's the green. We are back and at it. Watch this. Oh, look out, Miller, look
back here in Mid-Ohio. Cars are rolling, Adam.
Yeah, they're looking great too. A lot of these beautiful Q3 Architecture TA2 cars making their way through 4, 5, 6 complex. You can see the fans are there on the hill trying to grab up as much shade as they can. That is naturally put there by the trees, but also we got some plenty of tents up there. But you get, it's a unique little course here where we get like a lap and a half of pace lap. So turn 1 is Mission Foods. Turn 1, this is a medium to high speed corner, light brake on entry, hard power through it and out to climb the hill all the way up to the famed keyhole, turn number 2. This straightaway is it's so important to get the exit of 1 right because, like I said, carrying uphill to Q3 Architecture turn 2, or the keyhole as we know it as here. The exit of the keyhole, again, just as critical, if not, definitely more critical even, than the exit of turn 1 because you're down this long back straightaway through turn 3, the kink, down into turn 4. Your best opportunity for passing is down into turn 4. 5, 6, 7, as you can see on the map, kind of referred to as the S's or madness, through 8, 9, and then you come on to a little short shoot. 10, 11, the carousel, and you're back home where we see everyone in turn 1 here, and the front row is formed up here. And this is a unique place, like I said, where we don't take the green flag in the same place as we do the restarts. We get another half a lap here. So it's up to these drivers, these young drivers on the front row, to be disciplined enough, Ralph, to bring the field to the green.
And that's a safety thing because it's a lot longer on that back stretch, easier to set up for 4 as your first corner coming to the green than it is going into 1.
Yes, for sure. Like I think years past, they tried to make the start-finish at right in front of us here, and it just didn't work. Like turn 1 was always just an absolute mayhem. So turn 4 is not much easier. As we'll see, this is super, super critical. And as I learned yesterday, cold tires, low tire pressure, heavy fuel load, the inside's really dirty. It can catch you off guard.
All right, so we got Day on the inside of the HendrickCars.com machine, McKee on the outside in the Gamebridge car. Green flag is waving. We're racing in Mid-Ohio Live on Speed Sport 1.
It looked like that start might have been a little organized by the team. You got Thomas Annunziata who's going to try and rail the outside. Oh, wow, he blew the corner here. I told you it's slick. Boy, that I hate to be right about stuff like that, but it is super, super slick down there.
He did a great job of corralling it and getting it back up on the racetrack, didn't he?
He certainly did. He certainly did. And I tell you, that's what you got to do, because if you don't get on the throttle and you're stuck out there in China Beach, your day is pretty much over. So
look at everything coming up from underneath the car, though, as he continued on.
Yeah, and that makes a mess of the track for those behind, but and for the next couple laps. But at the same time, he may have to do what Paul Bernard had to do yesterday, come into pits and get that grill swept out, or else his race ain't going to last long.
Wow, what a shame for Corey. Puts the car on the pole. An impressive run, his first one, and now he first corner.
And we didn't mention anything about Adrian Vlastowski there in P5. He's the top Howe car, doing a real good job right up the back bumper of Thomas Annunziata right now.
Yeah, Adrian right there in the white and red, number 3.
Yes, yeah, and Sam Corey right behind him. He gets a good run, Now this is gives him a disadvantage on the outside here coming up to the keyhole. If he can pinch Thomas down a little bit and keep him tight there, he can rail that outside and hopefully maybe get a run out of the Q3 Architecture keyhole down that back straightaway.
You can see how far back Corey Day fell.
And this is the strength. This has been the strength of these M1 cars. Look at the gap that they have pulled out already on Thomas Annunziata in P3. Got a whole bunch of mayhem coming in.
Going into 4. It was getting
like this drone
there
to go back another couple cars right now. That was looking pretty spicy behind them as we take a look at that lead up in the front. As it gets spicy as we get further down the field here. Got Bob Accardo there in the number 39 with the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Bo's doing a great job of hanging on to McKee right now. They've started to pull away a little bit here from Annunziata, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely. But Rafa Matos is coming. He was the one that made it 4 wide down there into turn 4, and he came out the victor on that as he's now right there in P4 behind Thomas Annunziata. So this is going to be it's shaping up to be some very good racing right here.
Comes Annunziata. Matos right behind him.
And you got Thomas Merrill there. A little bit of damage on the nose, but that's the least of his concerns. He was wiped out on pit in the paddock this weekend by a scooter from another team. And
that was yesterday?
Yeah, that was yesterday. And
Matos swinging wide here.
Matos is on a mission. And I spoke with him this morning, and I reminded him, you know, no one races Mid-Ohio like Rafa Matos. He is the master of this place, and he's showing it. Look at him. He's already there just hounding in P4, hounding Thomas Annunziata.
Which credit to Annunziata for keeping him behind him at this point.
Yeah, no kidding, right? So we're gonna see some. Right here's the move.
There he goes on the outside.
And you can make that work. You can make that work. Now he got tapped a little bit by Thomas, and it doesn't take much with these track temperatures to slide these cars around. Great drone shot right there, giving us great up close aerial of the action. And you got again Thomas Merrill right there sneaking in.
Yeah, finish your story on Thomas and his accident in the paddock.
He is bruised from head to toe, the poor guy, and. You know, the nose is a little bit damaged, but I don't think it's going to do anything that bad for him. His biggest concern, like I said, is he's got cuts and bruises and things going on all over his body right now. So what a brave run for him this early on. It's a hot day, and you saw him. He's like one of the only guys out there Ironman-ing it with no cool shirt or anything like that. So, you know, keep your eye out on Thomas Merrill. One heck of an athlete right there.
Annunziata, again, credit to him for keeping Matos behind him. Adrian Vostovsky right there still. We all just keep waiting for Adrian to break through, don't we?
We do, and he's right coming. There.
Here's Matos again. Oh, and now it's Boris Said Jr.
Boris Said Jr. in the HendrickCars.com Toyota Camry. I think it's kind of cool to see it on something else other than a Chevrolet, honestly, and the livery came out beautiful on that car, and I hate to see that their day is over already, and that's a shame. Hopefully he's in a spot that is inconspicuous, and we can keep going racing here. As Rafa's got another run down.
There he is right there, headed to 4.
He's going to make it stick, I think, on the outside this time. I believe he looked like he had good position. It looked like Thomas went down for a serious defense.
And there's the full course caution.
Yeah, and this might have been a local yellow, too, and that might not be a move that Rafa's going to be able to keep anyway, that you're going to have to give that one back. But full course caution here to get rid of that 60 car, but I don't think this one's going to take us too long. I think this should be a pretty quick caution here.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Boris Jr., he's had some rough luck this year.
Yeah, right.
Been quick.
I can empathize, but he's had some. His speed is getting better. He's gelling quite well over there at Nitro, and you know he's back. He's in a Camry now. You know, almost the whole Nitro compound there, the whole Nitro paddock. I think other than just 2 cars are all Toyota Camrys now. So so he's in the Camry hunt now. And it's just a shame that their day's over early like that. You got right now Thomas Annunziata, you know, carrying the flag for Nitro Motorsports.
So while they're still under yellow, we'll go ahead and take a quick break while they get Boris Said Jr. off the racetrack. We'll be back live here from Mid-Ohio on Speed Sport 1. Stay with us.
Rev up and get ready for race day with Mission Foods. The world's best racers and tastiest products come together to make every race delicious. Full-loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy-to-make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Okay, so pretend this is your race car. It's on the trailer, and you have an accident. Ouch! At least your truck's insurance pay for another one? Yeah, not so fast. Standard insurance won't replace your race car. It's in the trailer, in the paddock, in the garage, or the repair shop. But at Haggerty, we can protect it for what it's really worth anytime it's off the track. No matter what or where you race, offer less than a set of race tires. Haggerty, let's drive together.
What does it mean to be built with Summit? It means you're hitting the autocross, drag strip, road course, trail, dirt, or open road with confidence. Because built with Summit means you're using parts of top names in performance. Priced to make your product affordable. And it's all backed by trusted tech expertise and blazing fast shipping. Summit Racing Equipment. Let's build it together. SummitRacing.com.
We're back here at Mid-Ohio, and you can see Boris Said Jr.'s car getting pulled back around.
Yeah, it should be a quick cleanup. Obviously, no oil or anything looked like got dropped on the track, and just get the car off away from a dangerous area, because it was not in a good area, and get that car off. And hopefully it's not something that kills their day, that they can get Boris Jr. back out there, and he can fly that HendrickCars.com colors, for the rest of the day out there. But we got, the points leader overall is Tristan McKee, and he's leading this race. And then the points leader in Pro-Am is Barry Bowes, and he's leading this race in Pro-Am. So this is, this is really chalking out to be an exciting race, and really a race between these SLR M1 cars up at the front, as they were able to just absolutely check out. And we'll see now that Rafa's got position. He was able to keep that position on Thomas Annunziata, which was interesting. I didn't know when that flag came out, but the stewards are on top of stuff, and we'll see if during the rest of this yellow how it plays out. You can see Adrian Vlastowski with his hand out the window. Some of these drivers, when you see that and their hands just tucked out the window, they're trying to scoop some air into the car, some fresh air into the car, just kind of keep themselves a little bit cool. And because a race car is just designed to keep the air away from the inside, because air inside the car is just drag. So, and then you saw right before the break that beautiful orange Vixen Ford Mustang of Thomas Sheheen going through the picture before we went to break. And he's been enjoying some time with his excavator, land moving, and doing all those fun things. And I was like, does it help your driving at all? And he goes, I don't know if it does. But it might help with the connection and multitasking. But he's having an absolute blast at home with his new excavator. But these are some of the fun stories about knowing this paddock and knowing some of these cast of characters that are inside this Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series.
Anybody I know who's gotten themselves an excavator or some piece of heavy equipment like that to move trees around and knock stuff down and clear out forests and everything, just has the best time. You can't stop raving about how much fun it is to get out there and just chew stuff up.
I tell you, the best person I've ever seen on an excavator is two-time TA2 champion Gar Robinson.
Really?
Oh my goodness, he can move land like nobody's business. I took him to his first Supercross race, and the most exciting part of him was the break and watching the Dirtworks crew rework the track.
And those guys are pretty impressive.
They're an amazing amount of talent. But speaking of amazing amount of talent, we're getting ready to go green here again.
Yes, we are.
Inside this wonderful, wonderful hot day here at Mid-Ohio. But hot days make for great racing, and we're seeing just that.
That yellow helped Corey Day get back up a little bit to the guys in front, so maybe he can get a couple of spots here.
It did. He's now up to P14. He's made a few spots back after running off.
There he is.
Hopefully, again, he's got his grill cleaned up, and sometimes caution to do that. As we're
green flag. Here we go. Tristan McKee in front of Bose and Matos and Annunziata and Vostovsky.
Now, see what Rafa Matos can do here. Nobody's had anything for these M1 cars. And now Rafa Matos, I said earlier that it was Adrian carrying the colors for Hal, but now you got Rafa Matos in the first Hal chassis out there. And then Thomas Annunziata's inside a Cope chassis, and Thomas Merrill, of course, in a Cope car there, doing a great job right up the tail end. Mike looks like he's got a good run going down the back straightaway out of the Cube 3 Architecture keyhole.
Talking to Mike Cope earlier this weekend, he was just happy to see all the body panels in all the cars.
Yeah, they've had a run.
Matos on side of Bose going into 4, got him.
Mr. Mid-Ohio Rafa Matos. This is the last thing Tristan McKee wanted to see in his mirror. Was that Brazilian, right? That Brazilian, fire behind him.
Adam, I've never made a competitive pass here at Mid-Ohio in anger like that, but that to me just looked like it was absolute textbook.
It was textbook. I mean, he couldn't, not a wheel lock up, not a wheel hop, and you're talking on the limit in the braking zone to get up next to Barry Bowes like that with the straightaway speed that those cars have exhibited this weekend. Hats off to, like I said, Mr. Mid-Ohio. Nobody does Mid-Ohio better than Rafa Matos, and I stand by that statement.
Incredible seat of the pants feel. Hang on, around goes a 95, Buffamonte.
I tell you, offline here with this heat, it is so slick. It is like ice. So, Gian learned a lesson there as far as we saw it yesterday with Paul Menard when he went and tried to do the outside pass there yesterday.
He got it going, so we'll stay green.
This is good. This is good for us as race fans and broadcasters. Not good for Gian. He's going to have a lot of making up to do.
There's Merrill.
Merrill getting underneath the 3 of Adrian Vlastowski. Good run. Gets a good bite off of the keyhole. down that long back straightaway. And you can see Rafa's on the hunt. Rafa's on the hunt to Tristan McKee, and Rafa just turned the fastest lap of the race. And I mean, he is like 0.3 of a second faster than Tristan McKee. So you're looking at the master at work here, and I don't think he's going to be too long.
Does it look like Merrill has a little damage to the hood of his car?
Yeah, he took on a little bit of nose damage.
A little pushed in there, right?
Yeah, during that, I think that off-road excursion that we had at the beginning. You know, it was chaos today as well, no different than yesterday. And I kind of was looking for that just right there. Oh,
nice move by Day.
Yeah, that was a brave move.
It was, but he made it work, and that's not a spot you normally pass here in Mid-Ohio.
No, it is not. That's why I said it was a brave move, because the car is very unsettled in that moment. The car is not in a happy place. You have to be very confident in your car control and very confident in that you're not going to ruin someone else's race as well.
That
did an awesome job.
Put him around Robinson, which puts him up to 11th. So he's still driving forward.
He is, and I like you brought up Will Robinson. You know, Will Robinson this weekend is here again, back racing with Mike Cope, but also is going to announce a new sponsor in Collision Right. Not too long, a pretty cool initiative where they buy up mom and pa collision shops all around the country. They got 150. It started with one. They have 150, and that's what they're managing. So Collision Right coming on board and being a part of this wonderful series. So it'll be great partner for him moving forward. And this battle is kind of like hit a stalemate. So you know, I really was expecting with the pace that Rafa was showing to really make sure working Tristan, but Tristan has responded and actually ran a lap not that much faster than Rafa Matos the last time. 1/1000th of a second was all that separated their lap times on that last lap between Rafa Matos and that youngster Tristan McKee. But this is the most valuable lesson a 14-year-old to get is, and he may not recognize it now to be.
One off the 30 car of DaCosta.
And and we were talking about the livery of that car. Beautiful livery.
Boy, look out.
There's got to be oil in the track.
DaCosta.
There's got to be oil something on the track the way they're all flying off. That's Bob Accardo.
Yeah.
That's Bob Accardo.
Look what it did to the door there.
Yeah, it just pulled the door right off. We're going to have a full course caution. I'm pretty
Yeah.
positive. And I think that the way those two just went off like that, it makes me believe or want to believe there might be fluid on the track.
I would agree with you.
Just odd
A little
to see.
suspect that they would both make just a driver error.
Right.
There's the double yellow. So we are under a full course caution. Yeah, it just didn't seem like the kind of thing guys would just make two mistakes like that at the same time.
No, and that
was a hard hit for Bob.
That's a hard hit for Bob. It's the window net's down, so that is always our signal. And for those at home, when you put the window net down, that's a signal that the driver is okay. You know, in open wheel racing, it's a pop-up of the visor. And in stock car or full-body car racing, we drop the window net. Julian DaCosta is just waiting to hopefully not be stuck. Love talking about that livery. Love that livery. You know, it's got that play on some historic.
Yeah, Ironman Stewart, and then the Gurney Celicas.
Yeah, very, very cool.
Good looking stuff.
And I love that Toyota does that with their racing, right? They bring a lot of their nostalgia into their racing, and I love what TRD and what now Gazoo Racing is doing with that brand. Sitting up here in the drone shots. Again, beautiful grounds here at Mid-Ohio. Green Savory Group does an amazing job. Oh, Bob got going again. Bob's ripping around, going to come in and check out, get the car checked out. The group that he's working with right now is a group that I used to drive TA2 cars with. So I have a lot of confidence in that group of men down there, and Dave and Norm, Jimmy, Roscoe. They're all going to do it. If that car can get back on the track, they're going to get it back on the track.
I got to tell you, I'm a little surprised to see Bob drive away from that.
I am too.
I just thought the car would have suffered more damage than what it did.
I'm rather impressed. I mean,
Yeah.
it shows how tough these Cube 3 Architecture TA2 cars really are.
And how much the tire barrier works.
That's right. That's right. And
well, we're going to take a quick break, take care of some more business so we can show you more live green flag racing when we come back to Mid-Ohio on Speed Sport 1.
In racing, every second counts. Communication isn't just important, it's everything. Established in 1996 in Daytona Beach, Florida, Speedcom Communications was born from a passion for racing and a vision to revolutionize motorsports communication. trusted by competitors across the world.
Okay, so pretend this is your race car. It's on the trailer, and you have an accident. Ouch! At least your truck insurance will pay for another one? Yeah, not so fast. Standard insurance won't replace your race car, whether it's in the trailer, in the paddock, in the garage, or the repair shop. But at Hagerty, we can protect it for what it's really worth anytime it's off the track. No matter what or where you race, all for less than a set of race tires. Hagerty, let's drive together.
How good is this? Look at this view from Losowski.
It brings all my fans, brings the audience into the car with me.
Speed turn 140 mile an hour entry speeds.
The quickest and most efficient way for me to get information to my drivers is from using the V-Box HT2s.
Back here in Mid-Ohio, sure is pretty around here, isn't it?
Oh, these are great grounds. I mean, there's a beautiful reservoir just over the way there, and one of my favorite places, Apple Hill Orchards. If you think in life you need an apple cider donut, never had an apple cider donut, go to Apple Hill Orchard.
Honestly, tell you, I never thought I've had the right apple cider donut.
Oh,
apparently I'm now.
They're amazing. They're absolutely amazing.
All right. Well, this was amazing too. Watch this here. First, you're going to get the 30 car come flying into your screen. And he's going to stay off the tires, but Bob Accardo, not so lucky as he's next.
Yeah,
here he comes.
And the Bob, I think, does a full rotation and slap here from the rear to the front. And but I think like that, no worse for the wear. And,
no,
I mean, it didn't.
He drove away.
Didn't seem to bend anything. Didn't look like it was crabbing, getting there, and it also showed how the gravel traps work, because that certainly kept Acosta even out of the tire wall. And that wall used to be right up on the track.
Yeah.
It didn't used to have any space. So in years past, it would have killed him.
Let's hear from the Nitro crew with Ben.
Yeah, I was going to talk to Kyle, but they didn't think they were going to be able to dig this out of the rocks. But Julian DaCosta was able to get this out, able to get it refired. They're going back out there. And then talking to Kyle, who was talking to Julian on the radio, he was saying that he thought, Julian said that he might have gotten assisted going off of there. What's your driver saying right now, Kyle?
That Julian says he thought he was clear going down the straightaway, had a clear by one from the spotter, and then all of a sudden he got hit in the right rear. Not sure if the guy behind him lost brakes or exactly what happened, but he definitely took a hard impact to the rear, which sent him off into the gravel.
Nice. Well, that happens here, but at least he was able to refire, get back up there. We know he's really fast. It's got that off-road livery of Toyota from the day. He went a little bit off-road, but we're going green this time by, guys. Back to you in the booth.
Yeah, and just like Ivan Stewart, the Iron Man, he's continuing on.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Well played for sure. But yeah, no, and like what I was saying is years past, that wall was right up there. Those races would have been over for those two, and we would have been cleaning up a mess of a race car. So, they made that decision quite some years ago to open that up, and it's just done wonders as far as the racing for the track, because that's a really tough point, and that's the trouble spot. That's if you see it there, and then China Beach into turn 4 is our two trouble spots here.
Yeah, the closeness of the walls has always been a challenge here at Mid-Ohio. I know it has certainly been that way for the motorcycle community, coming here with the super bikes and super sports and the speeds that they run, and especially in the rain, before the track was repaved, the loss of grip, especially going up through here, guys just would not want to race in the rain because it was just, they didn't feel it was safe.
No, and quite honestly, it really isn't for that aspect.
Yeah.
But we're going green, and we're coming to the green right here after the carousel, and the green is out.
Here we go.
And now, I tell you, the last thing Tristan wanted was that caution, because Rafa's restarts have been just absolutely magical here. But he got a great restart, Tristan McKee did. Great jump on Rafa Matos.
To that point, with all the cards stacked against him, if you will, with Matos in rearview mirror, McKee did a tremendous job.
Oh,
a couple of cards dipping and wheels. Sheheen back there, was it?
Sheheen had 2 off back there, and that's fine. You can run it out there. You just got to make sure you get back on. And he got a little jump there, and that's that's the challenge that you have.
And here's McKee now, all the way through 3. Matos, full attack mode.
Yeah, he is, and he got a great race here between Thomas Annunziata and Thomas Merrill. It's the battle of the Thomases here, just really going at it. And the Franklin Road Apparel HB Tuners, 26 Coke car.
Annunziata, a winner already this year.
2-time winner, an early point leader, and really was like absolutely taken off. And had a couple of rough races there, but he's back. He's focused. He's ready for this weekend, and then next weekend he's off to Lime Rock as well with Ben Mayer, and he's gonna be driving a Topliner truck, and proud to say that he's in the Topliner family with myself, and so he'll be driving a Topliner truck, and I have a lot of confidence in what Thomas Annunziata. Then he's gonna hop on an airplane with Boris Said on Boris's new plane, and him and his dad are gonna fly from Lime Rock to Road America. He's gonna start from the tail at Road America. As we see racing deeper in the field, you can see Corey Day trying to make his way back through here. He's all the way up to 10th behind Adrian Vlastowski, who unfortunately has just had nothing but trouble with pace here past the 10-lap point of this race. He's just been struggling to keep the pace up with this front pack, and Tristan McKee is just absolutely checking out on a cloud of his own here.
So Corey Day starts on the pole, goes all the way to the tail after having his off, and then he has worked his way back inside the top 10, and he's not done yet. And he's been bouncing back quite a bit lately because he had a huge crash at Eagle Raceway in a winged sprint car here just recently.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Oh, yeah. No, he really took one for a ride.
Wow. And you're on board here with Barry Bowes with the ASIO data, M1 race car, Chevrolet in-car camera here. Again, this is a career day for Barry Bowes. He's running P3, and for him, not only to be up in this fight, looking through the windshield of that guy right there, Rafa Matos, you spend 100 miles looking at that windshield, you're going to learn something. So, and that's what he's there. He's there just soaking it in. Barry has come leaps and bounds as far as his racecraft and his speed, and it's really starting to come together for him, and really, really happy for him and how this race is going for him so far. But Thomas Merrill, 2-time Mid-Ohio winner, has been mentioned earlier in the broadcast. He is not far behind and is on the hunt. So I know Barry is also keeping not only a sharp eye and learning what's ahead of him from Rafa Matos, but he's also got that crafty former champion of Thomas Merrill behind him.
Well, and if you can hang with Rafa, that gives you a better shot at keeping Merrill behind you.
That's right. That's right. There's a lot of truth in that statement.
Yeah.
And then we never really got word on what happened with Boris Said Jr., so that'll be interesting to find out what actually parked that car and put them. It seems to be out of the race right now. So.
Yeah.
But Ben Mayer and his return back to the Q3 Architecture TA2 Series, he's running P8, so nice return for him as well. And then another back to Thomas Annunziata quick. Just keep posted on him because that career is going places. Just like all these young careers that we see here in this Q3 Architecture TA2 Series, these young careers are going places.
What's really interesting when you come and you meet a lot of these young drivers, the guys and the gals, you see the level of confidence that I'm going to get to where I'm dreaming of going. There's no doubt in my mind I will be doing this. I just saw one of the HendrickCars.com machines go down pit lane. I'm wondering if that was Day.
Oh, let's stop. No, he's still doing good on timing and scoring. I think that might have been Boris Jr.
So Boris Jr. finally getting all the way around then.
Yeah, still trying to figure out what's going on with that car. Looks like still continuing to have issues there.
All right, there's Bose. We got 47 and a half minutes left to go. But yeah, that commitment, that confidence that they're going to achieve their dreams is really fun to see.
Absolutely, and it's also quiet humility because when you sit there and when I'm the one sitting there boosting them up, and they're going to go places like, I hope so. I'm working at it. I'm putting in the work. I hope so. I'm praying for it. No matter what it is, and but we know these talents are going places, especially Ralph. Yourself and myself, our eyeballs have been on the sport for such a long and genuine part of our life that we could spot it now. Like you can spot when there's something special.
problem here is there's so much of it.
Right.
So they all look fast,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like you look at any of the top sports out there. Let's take basketball, for example. You look at the NBA, and it looks, they all make a three-point shot look like it's simple.
Right.
It's not.
Exactly.
You know?
And
So you see all these guys and gals out here racing these cars in TA2 and the other support divisions that we have that run along with us on a weekend, and you go, that guy's good. Well, that guy's good. And she's great.
Right.
You know, you're like, holy cow.
And I tell you that I think there's two key elements that have really brought that kind of level. Number one is data, how good data has gotten, and data and video matching and the coaching that could go along with that. And number two, simulators. The simulators are so good, and these youngsters, I mean, if they got a simulator when they were 6 years old, they spent probably more time in the simulator, and even if they started karting not long after that, they still spent more time on a sim than they did karting even. And so then when they show up at these big tracks, which you're not going to get the experience on a go-karting necessarily, they're ready for them.
They've already done Road America 1,000 times.
They've done it. They've done it. The only difference is they don't have a reset button when it goes wrong.
Right.
So, but they come in with that confidence, and you have been around this sport so long. I've been around this sport my whole life. Confidence is 90% of this game. It's what's going on between the ears.
And just like Rafa here, it's not just in general, but sometimes at a specific racetrack. You just feel like, I've got this place wired. I've got a rhythm here. I'm strong here. And you can see that in Rafa here. And Adrian Vostovsky, hopefully he's feeling that way as well. He's got the number 3 running pretty good. He's right up in the fight.
Yeah, and that CMI racing, he does that sponsor very, very proud. And I tell you what, we're looking at lap times just getting better and better and better. Like the track is just coming in, and everyone's turning their fastest lap of the race. Like literally right now on lap 16 is everyone's fastest lap of the race. Rafa was the fastest out there by 1/10 of a second, so starting to reel some time back in, and you can physically see that. Reel some time back in on that youngster Tristan.
Okay, so that again tells us about Tristan McKee. Rafa puts down the quickest lap, and it's a blazing turn. And then McKee is just 1/10 slower, but staying in front of him. So that again, going back to that conversation about the talent, you go, man, Tristan McKee is 14 years of age, and he's just wheeling it here.
He is. He's absolutely wheeling it here, but this is a physical track too. It's a very physical track. You know, Rafa's in peak physical conditioning. He's a grown adult. You know, Tristan's still developing. You know, there's the muscle and hydration and all those things is a lot different than a 14-year-old. So that's why I said when I got older, it almost got easier with the heat. So Rafa, believe it or not, probably feeling a little bit more fresh than that youngster up front there because
well, he knows what his body needs to prep for it too, right?
Right. You know, the best thing I could tell, you know, this heat wave that's going through the country right now for the fans, put on a jacket, go out in your car, turn up the heat, and go to the store. And that's what these drivers are experiencing right now.
There's a lot of racers that used to do that to train getting ready for
Bobby Allison, I believe.
Bobby Allison,
was
very well
that.
known. Don Garlitz would do that, even though his runs were a lot shorter.
Know that, but still.
But
they were in those 6-layer suits in drag racing for so long.
And you have to stay mentally sharp at the lights, right?
So that's you know, getting in the car here, looking on board with Barry Bose. Right now, for him, unfortunately, it's kind of like a lapping day, right? The distance is a little bit too far to get a sniff, to get any kind of a tow. So he's just really kind of probably making sure that he's keeping the mirror clear, running his own race, running his own pace is really what I would be going through the radio headset with him if I were a car radio.
So as we watch this, and you see Bose is sliding that car through the corner there, but it looked like a very controlled slide. Yeah. These cars, like 550 horsepower,
right around
roughly.
There. Yeah.
So, and it's all driver, no computer aids. It's
Nothing.
your right foot and your rear end telling you how much gas you can give it.
The only aid you have is power steering.
That's it.
You got. But other than that, yeah, it's absolutely all.
You're on your own.
Yeah, and
which is why it's such a great training ground.
Absolutely. No, this is to me, this is pure motorsport. You know, when we start to get into GT cars that have traction control, that have stability control, that have analog brakes, to me, you can hang a license plate on it and take it to the grocery store. It's not a race car to me. But these are purebred. This is, as my dad would say, these are thoroughbreds. This was built to do one thing, and that's perform on a racetrack. And that's what makes them so fun to drive. Absolutely so fun to drive.
McKee continuing to hold off Rafa, just 0.2 of a second slower than him on that one. They're the only two cars to dip into that 125 range. As you were talking about these younger drivers, I was thinking about, and we brought up Big Daddy there, and, you know, Big was the type of guy no different than an A.J. Foyt, right? Or Dale Earnhardt Sr., that gritty, you know, real tough exterior, tough interior, tough everything
right,
that make them who they were. Who do you see in the young drivers that maybe someday will be looked at like that? I mean, obviously, in the modern era, a lot of people point to a Tony Stewart, for example, as somebody cut of that cloth. But who do you see out of this younger group that might be that way?
I see Thomas Annunziata. Oh, Adrian Blue turned forward down there.
Vostovsky trying to gather it up.
He's in trouble. He's got problems. He's way deep in the field. That was Keith Prochuk and Mia Lovell going around.
Yeah, Mia got by him. I was going to say that. They're running 14th and 15th.
Unfortunate for that group there. You know, there's the 51 of Will Robinson going through. We spoke about him earlier. Yeah, back to your question, who's got that kind of grit? I think it's Thomas Annunziata, honestly. I think, first of all, he's got the rock star looks, you know, the runway model looks, if you will, the male model looks. But he's also he's a gritty driver. Like I've tested him. He won't lift. I was on the bad end of that because I just tested it. And he was supposed to lift in my mind, but he didn't.
He wasn't on the same page as you.
That shows his grit. That shows that he's not just going to give things over and lay over. You know, and he's very confident in who he is and what his ability is and what he can do. And so, yeah, I see him being as that gritty.
Oh, problems here for Prochuk, and Mia Lovell's going to take advantage of that as she gets inside. And that Nitro Motorsports entry makes the pass. And the young lady out of Phoenix, Arizona moves herself up now to 13th.
That was interesting what happened to Keith there. That was really, really interesting as far as it looked like there was dust on the track. You know, I didn't know if that was coming for him, but it looked like he went through some oil dry, you know, up there through the kink on the back straight. But it looks like he's got problems as well as he's.
Another one off here.
That's Will Robinson.
Yeah, in that same spot.
Oh, I hate to see that. That's going to bring out a full course caution. We have one
stuck there.
And Rafa didn't want to see that because Rafa is right now on the hunt. He's consistently been quicker than our leader, and but this full course caution comes out. Get this thing cooled down, and they'll get that restart. I bet you we'll see Rafa come back to life here.
They got just over 38 minutes yet to go in this one.
And Rafa, you know, is second in points, so this is also big in points for him to get that. You know, he is laser focused always, not only on race wins but championships. He's a true champion, Rafa Matos.
Full course caution is out.
So right now, for the fans familiar at home, the field will go under a code 60. It comes up on our Flagtronics up on the screen there to flash purple, and so all these cars are going to slow down to 60 miles an hour. It comes with penalty if you don't, so you better slow down to 60 miles an hour. And
Adrian Vostovsky on pit road, looking under the hood there.
And you got Billy, the leader, team leader there, was just talking on the radio to Adrian. They're putting the pins back in. Maybe firing them up and getting them back out there. I saw Billy motioning somebody off in the back. I don't quite understand what that is from this shot, but looks like we're going to go to break here.
Yep, take a quick one. Well, we'll be right back here to Mid-Ohio. We'll have the field lined up, ready to go racing, and we'll be back with you live on Speed Sport 1.
I'm gonna chase, and I'm gonna chase. I know we can do it, no matter how I try.
Rev up and get ready for race day with Mission Foods. The world's best racers and tastiest products come together to make every race delicious. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy-to-make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Mid-Ohio, Lexington, Ohio, about an hour or so outside of Columbus. And about the same from Cleveland,
Yeah,
too, right?
yeah,
Kind of dead center.
It's like an even split between the two. You know, it's a great place to be. You're out here in nature. You're out here in the country, and flowing hills, fun roads to drive, that's for sure, and this great sports car course just planted right in the middle of it.
The Ray Hall family backyard, right?
Yeah, it is the Ray Hall family backyard. This was Jim Truman's home. You know, you got the
Hence the reason for all the red roofs around here.
That's right.
If you don't know the story of Jim Truman, he was the founder of Red Roof Inns.
Yep.
Owner of this facility, and so, of course, all the roofs had to be red.
That, and Michelle Truman owned it up until his daughter had it, still in the family, up until I think 2010, 2011, when the Green Savory Group took over, and it's been great, smooth sailing for that group ever since, doing a great job at the racetrack, and keeping a lot of the traditions alive in the area. They're known as giving these kids a lot of times their first job here at the racetrack. That's why when you drive in here, almost all of them that are directing traffic, you see their high school kids, and they just get a great group of kids. I mean, if you want to find some awesome work ethic, you come to Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course and you'll see it.
Yeah.
It's a hot day, and these kids are standing out here in the heat. You don't find that everywhere in the United States of America, where they'll stand out here in the heat and work traffic around. So it's a wonderful place to be. It's good old-fashioned America, and the fans show up and support every event that goes on here. And there's more than just, like we said, more than just coming here to watch races. There's the Mid-Ohio School. There's, as you mentioned, there's a bunch of track days for bikes, and the bikes love to come here because it is a great bike track as long as the weather permits.
Yeah, well, and it's a huge regionally important thing for bikes because right down the road you have Honda.
Right.
Back towards Columbus.
Yep.
And you also have the American Motorcycle Association Hall of Fame.
That's right.
Is right in Columbus as well. Their Hall of Fame and Museum.
But yeah, this so right now, you know, in a hot day like this is honestly the cautions make it worse. You're just kind of baking in the cars and not getting much air or anything like that. So the lights are off on the pace car. We're going green this time, and that's why we're seeing everyone get the tires cleaned up, getting the heat back in them. You'd be amazed at how quick tire pressures will drop.
How important is it for Tristan to do something different on this restart than when he did the last time? Because now Rafa's thinking, I know what you did.
Super important. You know, you got to keep him guessing, and Tristan knows that. You know, Tristan knows that. Even as young as he is, he's studied this his whole life, and restarts is something you study in a critical way because you know that is the time that is easiest to pass, and it's also the most vulnerable time for you to be passed. Look at Rafa hanging back a little bit, trying to get a little bit of a run there. So Rafa's being pretty crafty too, and not showing his hand. But we got green.
Here we go. Green is out, and Tristan is gone.
Yeah, he opened up a good early gap, and he just kind of took off.
He hammered it as soon as they came down through the kink there, and, man, he was on it.
Yeah, no wheel spin, no nothing. Perfect restart for Tristan McKee. Actually, Rafa's going to have to go a little bit on the defense with Barry Bowes, it looks like here, as Barry's got a pretty decent run up there at Keyhole, but he stays in line. Someone tucked underneath the Jared Audrick there. I did not catch who that was.
Yeah, Mia Lovell's right there with Jared. That's 11th and 12th in that area back there. Had a great conversation with Jared earlier in the weekend. I said, obviously, as a former pro football player, you're a great athlete. I said, but is there something about your position that you played, which was on the defensive line, that transfers over to racing, specific to that position, as we're on board with Jared now? And he said, you know what? Yeah, there is. He said, in football, plays are short, obviously 7 to 10 seconds. He said, but then you come to the sidelines, coach is right in your face, telling you what you did right, what you did wrong. Then they set a tablet in front of you, you watch the play, see what you did right or wrong, and then you got to go right back out and do it again. He said that transfers over great to racing because even though the sessions are longer, as soon as you come in, you're out of the car, debriefing, looking at video, figuring this all out, and then right back in the car. He said, so that ability to digest the information, do something with it, and then go out and execute, he said, transfers over from football.
And it shows. It shows in his progress that he continues to make. I've seen a lot of drivers come through here, and you see drivers that come in and they just get stuck, and they're done making progress. We have not seen that with Jared Aldrich. He has continually gotten better and better and better and improved his game. And I've been recruiting him to come up to TA because I think he'd also do well in those. And he's so physically fit, he could do double duty, no problem.
Oh, no doubt.
No problem. And
he's the only guy right now not thinking it's hot out there.
Exactly. He's doing a heck of a job, driving that 00 Chevrolet Camaro. Doing a heck of a job. Really, really proud of him and the effort that he's put in. It's showing, wow, Annunziata is sliding that thing around. He has got his hands full.
Of course, Jared played for the Miami Dolphins, so that South Florida heat.
Yeah. First round draft pick.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Yeah, you're pretty good at that game if they're going to pick you in that round. I think that got a lot of controversy this year, if I'm not mistaken, the first round.
Oh, it always does, yeah.
Yeah, but you also see Thomas Merrill is really on the hunt for Barry Bowes right now. Thomas is really working over Barry Bowes to try and get on that podium for the overall podium. Barry, he doesn't have anything to worry about in the Pro-Am realm of things. Jared is quite a distance back from where Barry is, and I don't see Barry, unless he has an unfortunate mechanical, Barry will stick right where he's at.
Looking at turn one here, we've seen it suck a lot of drivers in and spit them out up and over these curbs and off into the grass and caused a lot of problems this weekend. What are you looking at as you're setting yourself up for turn one?
So, being I taught at the school here, we used to have, there used to be a wonderful little spot in the pavement, in the sealer, that you could
prior
put the
to
car
the paving.
on. Yeah, you could put the car on right on entry, and as long as you tag that point, it's just like a rail all the way through the corner. We used to teach that point in the school apps, obviously, and some of the track days that we would do. Since the repave, it kind of changed that whole view.
Everything goes away.
That's no longer. And honestly, it caused me to lift my eyes and see the rest of the corner better. So I think some of us kind of get lost if you're not really carrying your eyes to the corner because it's rather blind. You're going to get yourself sucked in. Plus, I can't say it enough. Offline here, for whatever reason, offline this weekend has been like ice. Has been absolutely like ice, and that's usually not been the case in years past here at Mid-Ohio. But if you just got like a car length off or car width off line, it could certainly mess with
I don't think my eyes are deceiving me here, Adam, but it looks to me like Tristan McKee is actually opening up a slight gap on Matos up to 0.7 of a second. And he ran a quicker lap than Matos by 0.2.
And he did that in the last restart. And then as everything got kind of hot and gooey and started to move around more, Rafa closed that gap back up. And right before that caution came out, Rafa had brought that gap back to within, a half of a second. So he was within a tack point as well. But Tristan's car is certainly firing off much, much better than we see in Rafa's.
Tristan, originally out of Virginia, now makes his home in Kannapolis, North Carolina. Speaking of backyards, that one belongs to the Earnhardts.
Yeah, right. And I was going to say a good place to be if you want to be a stock car driver.
Man.
So he's and that's where his goal is. That's his goal ultimately. And
something good in the water there, huh?
Yeah, no kidding, right? So yeah, Rafa's car looks really good. He's been struggling this weekend with the balance of the car, and it seems like whatever they got to that thing for the race, Holly and the group there, and Gil Martin, and that whole gang underneath the silver hair tent really looked like they got that 57 car dialed in quite nicely. The Concord American flagpole.
Speaking of the guys at Silver Hair, Harmon also running with Silver Hair in the 7, who's a couple of spots back in 7th place. Yeah. Imagine that. Talking to Maurice, team owner over there at Silver Hair, I noticed a sticker on the back side of the car. See it right there on the seat pillar there, right?
Yeah.
The rockers.
Yeah.
I was like, what are the rockers all about? I did not realize Maurice is part owner of a minor league baseball team.
I did not know that
and
either.
That's what the Rockers are,
Oh,
and they're
wow.
in High Point,
that's
North
funny.
Carolina. And the reason why they're called the Rockers is because, as you would know, High Point is well known for being one of the top producers of furniture in the world.
That's right.
So like a rocking chair, they've got the Rockers
What
as
a
their
great
baseball
mascot.
club. And it's a AAA team, but not AAA affiliated to a MLB team. It's a AAA independent league. So you could play for the Giants, for example. You get cut from the Giants, but instead of them sending you to their AAA team in Sacramento, they just kind of cut you. But you're not done yet, so you could go play for this team and earn your way back up. And I think I just gave him the
Is that the good
commentator
old-fashioned
curse.
commentator
Yeah.
curse?
Sorry, Harmon.
I tell people all the time, I said, commentators have that much power.
Yeah, right. Oh, you just hate to see that.
No, you
though.
do. You do.
But we get a better shot of the Rocker sticker that way.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And again, it's got Rafa still carrying the banner for Silverhair, and Maurice and Laura Hall, and they have so much passion.
They are great
for the
people,
team.
aren't they?
They're amazing people. I say they're great examples, and they love series. They love helping. And Barry Bowes. You want to talk about a commentator curse? Now I'm the one that did that to Barry, because I was just talking about it only taking mechanical that would take him down.
And Barry Bowes slipping back a little bit here.
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, his last lap time was a 1:29, so he lost 3 seconds from the previous lap, and now we're under full course caution. Hate to see that for Barry.
Next time you're in town, we'll have to go see a Rockers game.
I would love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we know someone that could help us out.
Yeah,
there.
well, he said, he goes, I'd love to have you out. I mean, man, I'd be all over that.
Yeah,
the kids
that
and go.
would be great. Absolutely, and maybe after VIR.
Yeah,
that'd be a good time. That'd be good timing. But yeah, no, they're back to the Hulls. They're great people and great ambassadors for the sport, and they do a lot to support a lot of young talent out there, and I just have a ton of respect for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Solid family.
For sure, for sure. So it also Chevrolet is leading the manufacturer points. 3 Chevrolets are first and second, and Toyota is third. They're second in those manufacturer points. So manufacturer points can mean something.
Let me ask you about this while we have a little bit of downtime here. All right, before I do that, I had to check with our producer. I figured he was probably going to want to take a break, take care of some more business, and he does. So get ready on the backside of this commercial. I got a question for you. All right. So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back, hopefully, for Green Flag Racing to the conclusion of our Cube 3 Architecture TA2 race on Speed Sport 1.
Yes. Hon, the WeatherTech's here.
WeatherTech is the ultimate protection for your vehicle. Laser measured floor lines, no drill mud flapped, cargo liner, bump step, seat protector, and cup phone.
What about my car?
WeatherTech.
Hawk Performance packs 100 years of friction dynamics into every product. Backed by Carlisle Brake and Friction, the world's premier innovator of industrial brake and friction components, Hawk leverages R&D tools and motorsports experience to deliver uncompromising performance on the street. There's no reason to settle for less. Choose ads that are race proven and street legal. Find the Hawk brake dealer near you at hawkperformance.com.
What does it mean to be built with Summit? It means you're hitting the autocross, drag strip, road court, trail, or road with confidence. Being built with Summit means you're using parts from the top names in performance. Priced to make your project affordable. And it's all backed by trusted tech expertise and blazing fast shipping. Summit Racing Equipment. Let's build it together. SummitRacing.com.
Looks like there is a bit of a breeze based on the wind turbine
Yeah,
spinning
there is.
around in the distance. And there's a good look at the tower here at Mid-Ohio. Now, we are in that building to the far left over here on the left side of the racetrack. Ben Sissel, however, is in that big building on the far right because you're in race control, Ben?
Yeah, I am, and I'd like to say that it's because I want to show you this great shot, or maybe because it's air-conditioned in here. But we have the president of the Trans Am Series right here, Andy Lowley, then Tim Richter, who's our race director, making vigorous notes. Dan is here talking to all of the teams. Then we have safety here with Mid-Ohio with Carrie and Helga, and she's talking to corner workers. She's with all the EMTs, the safety crews, everything like that. Then I'll show you before we come up here, Lucas, if you can get a shot of our TV screen, that's the whole production that's happening so that race control can see everything. This is kind of a little behind the scenes, like Inception-like. Then River here is in charge of all of our flagtronics, so he can show digital yellows. He can show anything to the drivers. We also have like a running snake here of everything that's happening, where all the cars are, where all the safety vehicles are. That comes in very handy in moments like this.
I'll be honest, I can.
And then
Yeah, I can say
Yaz is over
know
here
what car we
monitoring
should grab?
all of our in-car signals for the in-car. So that's just a quick peek behind the scenes here in race control with the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. But Ralph and Adam, back to you.
And as you would obviously have to say, we can't highlight enough how none of this happens without those people.
Absolutely not. Those and also our brave men and women that are out there in the heat, corner workers. Our corner workers, it's definitely a thankless job. Part is you don't get to see them all weekend long unless you've had a problem.
Right.
And then
They
you're
get a good
usually
view of
not
the box
happy
lunch.
and they don't really get a great conversation out of a driver. So
No.
It's a pretty thankless job, but they sit out there in the white and they sit out there in the heat and they do an amazing job for this racetrack. And they do it all the time. They're the same ones out there for the driving school.
Yep.
And where he was up there, that's actually the classroom for the driving school.
Yeah,
is what he
and
was
just
at.
above that is the press level.
That's
where
right.
Media usually hangs out here at Mid-Ohio.
But yeah, this place has got a lot of wonderful history, and
Yep.
they've been able to hold on to it.
They've been dressing it back up too. I mean, the buildings all look nice.
Yeah, they do. They do. The bathrooms got redone, and we got new pavement out here. We got new pavement in the paddock, some of the paddock areas.
Grass nice and cut.
Yep, this is a beautiful, beautiful place. My hat's off to the Green Savory group and everyone that works for them too.
Looks better than my yard.
Well, my yard is their yard because we live in the motorhome, so it is their yard. So I'm very appreciative of it. I believe we're going green right now.
Yeah, here we go. Can
Rafa get a better jump this time?
Or has Tristan got his number?
Green's out.
Here we go. Tristan with a pretty good start.
And now you got Thomas Merrill, too, that Ralph has to work out.
Yeah.
Those two have some history racing with each other.
Annunziata there in fourth. He's been hanging right there in the top 5 all day, but Thomas hasn't been able to move up.
He's been struggling with car all weekend long. He's been struggling with sessions in the car and the balance of the car all weekend long. And I think they hit on something closer for the race, but he obviously is not satisfied because you would see more performance out of him. And Sam Corey doing a great job behind him.
Yeah, good looking at, I was just going to say, good look at him in the 70 right there. Sam is running in 5th, and he's had some good success here lately, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. Lime Rock being
the win.
One of those. I mean, making the pass in the uphill like he did was honestly something that.
In very tricky conditions that day, too. Rain and heat and dry and more rain.
That's right. And he looks like he's just a very creative driver, I see, in the ways that he wants to make a move. And I like that. I think you need that this day and age. And because that's what we see like in some of the tops. Like Max Verstappen was when he came on the scene, that's what we were all in awe of because of his creativity to get around. And Lewis Hamilton was no different. And I'm not saying Sam Corey's there, but he's on that track. Like he's very creative, and I like that. It's kind of the thing that opens my eyes on that. And then Ben Mayer right behind him. Like that kid drove through this field right now, and he's got the nose and the body work to show it.
And Jared Odrick has taken over the class lead.
And I mean, that's what I said. You can't a commentator curse because you were just talking about Jared, and Jared is up there. So
and maybe this is the day he puts it all together, right?
Right. But you got Rafa, even though he's not close, showing a nose just to keep him in the mirror of just keep himself in the mirror of Tristan McKee. When you're a young driver, sometimes the old crafty veterans will like to move around in your mirror to try and get you to come off your game a little bit.
That fight with Annunziata and Corey right there headed to 4. This is a good one.
Yeah, this is like remnants of our last outing with at Lime Rock.
It's fourth. Oh, Mia level off.
No, that was like at the top of the keyhole too, which is another beach place, and looks like we're double yellow.
You sure are. She didn't get to race with us at, it's right before the
Oh, it's
carousel,
right
we're
before the
told.
carousel.
She didn't get to race with us at Lime Rock because she was graduating from high school, and she's getting ready to go to Davidson College.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's a great place to go to school.
Great school,
Yeah.
pretty good basketball program there.
Yeah.
Some guy named Steph Curry came through there.
Right, yeah.
They're pretty solid.
Yeah, just
so
him.
she's going to have a lot of fun.
So, yeah, that's a shame for her. Yep, that's right where she is. It's right before the carousel. Boy, that's a shame. Hate to see that for her. They'll get her out of that mess, and she'll rejoin, but she was running the top 15 at the point. So, yeah, you hate to see that. But back to Jared Aldrich again. He's 8th overall, which is a great accomplishment as well, and he's sitting there leading the Pro-Am. And right in front of Keith Prochek. I mean, that's a good Pro-Am fight there. 8th through 12th overall is all Pro-Am. And I want to give a shout-out to Doug Winston, too. He's right there behind Tom Sheheen. Doug Winston, again, a tradesman. He has been very successful, and he promotes being a tradesman. So but he's having a great run. We spoke earlier this morning, and I reminded him, and he knew it. Like, less is more here at Mid-Ohio, and he's an attack guy, right? He used to be a bodybuilder, and so he's really but he's calmed down a lot. I've seen his driving take a much calmer approach, and underneath that group and underneath some of the tutelage too of Adrian Vlastowski, I think has really brought Doug Winston a long way in his game. So it's good to watch him also kind of creeping into that top 10. He could sneak in that top 10.
Well, with Mia being beached over there and going to need a little helping hand to get out of the kitty litter, we're going to come back and see if Tristan McKee here in the 28 Gamebridge car, EndrickCars.com entry, can hang on in front of Rafa Matos. And we come back live on Speed Sport 1.
How good is this? Look at this view from Lost City.
It brings all my fans, it brings audience into the car with me.
You turn 140 mile an hour entry speeds.
The quickest and most efficient way for me to get information to my drivers is from using the V-Box HD2 system.
Said. One of the ways you overtake here at Sebring is really good braking zones, like this one right here.
Both go around. There's the green. We are back and at it. Watch this. Oh, look out, Miller, look
Back here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. We're still under caution here. They're circulating their way around. Looks like they're cleaning up the tires. So to me, that would say that we got one to go.
Okay, so this is my time to ask you the question I was going to ask you. We have all these great young kids out there right now. We also have all these great driver development programs. You have Hendrick doing their deal. Chip Ganassi's doing his deal. Manufacturers are doing their deal. Chevy and Toyota and so forth and so on. Then you have agencies like Spire, who are involved with Tristan McKee, doing their deal, taking racers and putting them in different spots. So if you were a father of a youngster who was looking to go professionally racing, what would you be looking for in the direction that you placed your kid with the driver development program?
That's a really good question, because there are so many. And I don't think you can really go wrong with any of them.
Probably not.
They're all great programs. And I think really Red Bull was the one that rewrote how that all went down. Like, we're gonna focus on off-track as much as we're focusing on on-track stuff. But I think that's where my head would be if I was gonna, do this. If I had a child and they were wanting to go in, I'd be looking at that more than anything. What's the off-track stuff look like? What are they doing in teaching on the nutrition side? What are they doing on the physical side? What are they doing in media training? Because that is of the utmost importance, is to get these youngsters super comfortable in front of a camera, super comfortable in front of the public, because that's who pays our bills. We're doing this as an entertainment, and the fans are really great to us. So we need to show that respect and make sure that we're telling the right story and doing it in the right manner. And so I would look at that, because I think they all do a great on-track product. I think what would separate it would be the off-track stuff, in my personal opinion.
That's interesting, and I can see that.
So looks like we're going green this time by.
Yep.
I was right. They were scrubbing tires, so it means that the crews were on the radio that we're going green next time by, and it's true. The lights are off. The Ginetta pace car is in, and I believe Rafa's a little bit tighter up on Tristan's bumper this time.
Yeah, he's got to be thinking, how many more shots of this kid am I going to get? There's the green flag. Here we go.
Got a much better restart that time, I'll tell you that. This is going to be a look into turn one.
Tristan was a little more to the inside, wasn't he, coming down the front straightaway that time?
He was. But I tell you, Tristan got through turn one like textbook.
He sure did.
Who didn't was Rafa, and he's under attack right now. As you can see, Thomas Merrill. We had a little bit of an off there in the back, it looks like, from one of the, maybe Barry Bowes, I believe, who had his troubles earlier, but is still circulating out there, getting at least going to collect the points. But, boy, Tristan just fires off.
He sure does.
And then you got the two teammates back here that were in their battle beforehand. A little bit of lockup by Annunziata, but Sam going around the outside. And
Rafa went a little deep there, didn't he?
He did. He did. And
it almost cost him.
And Thomas gave him a little bit of a nudge there, moved him to the side. Not getting position here. Not really going to make that one jive, but these two are going to go at it. Like I said, these two have had their history before, have raced hard against each other in the past. Two rivals here, I'm not afraid to say.
Yeah, Merrill's, you can see, really driving aggressively as he dips the wheels off again. He's using up all the racetrack. He's already damaged the hood a little bit, so what's a little more, right?
Yeah, 5-star doesn't mind.
Yeah, they got to fix the hood anyway.
Yeah,
get a new one.
5-star loves those phone calls after Q3 TA2 architecture race. Their phones ring off the hook and a lot of times. And Mid-Ohio is kind of one of our short tracks. We get, like, Lime Rock and Mid-Ohio are kind of like short track mentality, if you will. Really difficult to pass. Bumpers get used up quite a bit. And Tristan, in this late race stage, we got 9 laps to go, has just absolutely, the car is just fired off for him and is doing everything he needs it to do.
He was 2 seconds quicker than Matos on that last lap.
And that's no joke. Yeah, he that's opening up quite a gap.
Wow.
In a 1-lap span, and it's almost like we just watched Tristan come out to the world right here today, in the sense that if what I'm saying is true, then he managed this race perfectly, that he just was keeping a pace that he knew he could run comfortably, but was stressing everyone else's pace, because the cars behind him don't have his pace anymore. And he's been able to maintain. And the only thing that tells me as a driver is that that's a young man who was just perfectly managing this entire race. Where we thought Rafa was catching him, he was managing.
Yeah.
And that's actually pretty impressive from my point of view.
Corey still pushing on Annunziata right there. Corey in the 70. Annunziata in the 90. That's for 4th.
Where's it going to come, you think, Ralph? Because I tell you, Sam, he surprises you, and he's got speed on Thomas.
I can see turn 4. I know that's the simple call, but boy, it's really been the place, isn't it?
I see there, and where Thomas has struggled a little bit off of the carousel. So it could be a run into turn 1. There he did not. There he had a really good drive, and it was actually Sam behind him that struggled to get the forward bite down. And because if you don't have forward bite out of the carousel, then you can't make that left.
Whoa.
And Sam, again, so he might
Sam
just open the door for
there,
Ben.
1.
He might have just opened the door for Ben Mayer, because your tires are dirty now coming into the keyhole here, the Q3 Architecture turn 2.
Some damage to the front of Mayer's car as well on the hood of the 80.
Yeah, I'm guessing that, both him and Thomas Merrill, the damage on the hoods, I'm guessing, and I'm not 100% on this, but I would guess that mayhem during the first start that we had, accordioned some things up and probably caused some of that bodywork damage. Now you can see that Roth has been able to clear himself of Thomas Merrill. We kind of got this field spread out here, but Sam Corey, even though he's lost that time, has gained it right back.
And you see Annunziata really slide through 4 under pressure there from Corey, so that's why I'm kind of thinking maybe 4 is kind of the spot where that door might open up for Sam.
I think you're right. I think you're right. Like, it would be an obvious choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like Thomas has turned up. Thomas has turned up the wick as well. He's not going to be a pushover. Thomas Annunziata, you're going to have to work to pass him.
No, he really needs to get around Merrill is what he needs, so he can get back up on the podium and start maximizing these points in the championship, because obviously dealing with McKee and these others, you can't afford to give up many.
No, you cannot. And just to get back on point here, too, is to get a little deeper in the field and talk about some more stories. Jan Buffamante, who we saw had his troubles earlier in the race, has cracked himself almost into the top 10. He's sitting 11th position, just ahead of Doug Winston, who is currently P4, as he's gotten around Tom Sheheen. So he's currently P4 inside of that Pro-Am class, where Jared Audrick, Keith Prochuk, and Cale Phillips are currently your 1, 2, 3 in the Pro-Am class. But our top 5 continues to be Tristan McKee, the youngster up front, and has a nice gap on Rafa Matos, as now Rafa is able to match his lap times. But you got to do more than match lap times when you lost 2.5 seconds in those first few laps after this restart with only 7 to go. And then you have Thomas Merrill in third place there, in a solid third place. And then you got the battle here, 4th, 5th, and 6th, between all the Nitro teammates here. 3 of the Nitro teammates. You got Sam Corey, Thomas Annunziata, Sam Corey, and Ben Mayer there. And then you got Eric Caton. Eric was Ben spoke with Eric earlier in the broadcast on the fan walk, and Eric was feeling really good about this weekend and really good about this race, as well he should. He's sitting in P7. I believe that's a career run for him. In the Ray Skillman Automotive Group Ford Mustang, which I being an Indiana boy, I love to see Ray Skillman on the side of the car. The Hendrick cars are beautiful, but it's great to spread the love and see Ray Skillman out here and supporting a great human being and a great little driver there like Eric. And then we get into the Pro-Am trio there that round out the top 10 with Jared Audrick, Keith Prochuk, and Cale Phillips. But it's some great racing throughout the field here today at Mid-Ohio.
And Audrick won here at Mid-Ohio in an SCCA Super Tour race just a month ago.
So he likes it here.
He's feeling good about it.
He's got some good confidence. And now you see Thomas has got a little breathing room here, too, from Sam Corey. Sam was driving so hard and working so hard to try and get around Thomas. He might have overheated stuff a little bit. But it also looks like Sam's got a lot of straightaway speed. And I know that for a fact because he's got like 5 miles an hour on that straightaway on Annunziata, because Annunziata was telling me that he is the closest one he's to in the Nitro 10 is Sam, and he's 5 mile an hour down on Sam. So his straightaway speed is hurting, but he's doing a great job of defending. We're back there looking at Barry Bowes and what he's doing back here to the top front of the group and back to this fight for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Ben Mayer has dropped off and kind of separated himself from that group. He's got that damage on the front nose, so don't know if that's having an adverse effect of the handling of his car too.
Thomas Merrill, by the way, has recently won the pole here at Mid-Ohio in an IMSA Pilot Challenge event.
I believe that.
Yeah,
I absolutely believe that. But it's like we said, the talent is so deep inside this series, and it's
the
fun to watch.
Crazy thing is, there's more coming.
It's not gonna stop.
This series is getting phone calls. You talked to Andy Lally about it. People calling about, how do I get into TA2 all the time, or how do I get my kid into TA2?
Yeah, and for rightfully so. This is and we got a white flag coming next time because of time. I think we're on a time constrained race. We actually have 5 laps to go on the 45 lap count, but with time being a constraint, it sounds like we're going to get a white flag this time by for young Tristan McKee, and you're going to see a young man that's going to get to celebrate, not spray the champagne. It's going to be his first win.
It's going to be his first win. Can you believe it?
He's not going to spray the champagne, though. He's too young for that. They got Perrier down there.
He's the points leader. He's on his way to his first win. He leads the Rookie of the Year and the Young Gun Award standings. What a season young Tristan McKee is having behind the wheel of this race car.
Well, Scott Lagacy Jr. told me at Sebring during the test to keep an eye out on this kid, and he wasn't wrong. And he's flying those Gainbridge colors proud. I'm sure Dan Taurus and the whole group there with Gainbridge is super proud of this young man and what he's doing, and they're super excited about the future, right? Because that's who they're working with is this kid. The white flag is indeed out for Tristan McKee and Rafa Matos, and the surrender flag. This is whether you're going to give it up or you're going to take it, one or the other.
Our good buddy Jeff Dickerson over there at Spire.
Yep.
Those guys have really come on strong, and they've got a young one here that is very, very good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is he will be the second youngest Trans Am winner behind Brent Cruz if he pulls this off.
Yeah, I have that here for you. 14 years, 10 months, and 19 days for Tristan. 14 years, 3 months, and 4 days for Brent Cruz.
Unreal.
Difference of 7 months.
Unreal. I can't believe it. That's really cool stuff. Really cool stuff.
Great run here by Tristan McKee, and it's just beginning, Adam.
It is. You know, I mean, obviously his career is just. I mean, I've got 30 years on him, so his career is just getting started. You know, and I'm super happy for this young man. He's a wonderful. You know, I don't want to call him a kid. He's a young man because that's what they are. When you hear this kid's interview out of the car, as I say it, when you hear his interview out of the car, you'll understand what I'm saying. But great job to SLR, great job to M1. You brought home one and you dominated this one.
No doubt. On his way to becoming the second youngest winner in the history of Trans Am, Tristan McKee at 14 years, 10 months, and 19 days is a winner here at Mid-Ohio and extends his points lead as well in the 2025 championship.
And you'll get Thomas Merrill will round out that podium. That's a good bounce back for them. I know that, speaking to Mike Cope this morning, they don't test. So the race weekends are their test session. I know that they were trying some pretty crazy stuff, and it seemed like it worked out on that 26 car. They had a really good run today. Thomas Annunziata was able to hold off Sam Corey.
And you know that Rafa was throwing everything at him.
Whoa, no doubt. No, Rafa's got one pace, and that's forward. And John Buffamante, let's give a hat off to him. He went ahead and climbed all the way up to 8th place from having his issues. So what an awesome job. He just finished his junior year in high school. He starts his senior year here in a few months, and he's going to get to start that as a professional driver in the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series, and that's a pretty cool thing to do. So great job, John. Really, really fantastic work. And then to the whole Pro-Am group there, Audric, Prochuk, and Phillips, that's your podium. And Doug Winston just barely misses it, but brings home a great finish in P12.
I'm starting his senior season, too. Mine's a little different, though. Here's a look at your results. McKee, Matos, Merrill, Annunziata, and Corey. Great fighting all the way through that top 5. Ben Mayer, Caton, Buffamante, Audric, and Prochuk, with Jared Audric taking the class honors.
Really cool. And he's done that a couple times now with Cale Phillips rounding out that podium. You got Doug Winston there in P12. Tom Sheheen, another great race for him. Matt Gray, I think that's a good day for him as well. I don't believe I've ever seen him that far up in that group. So really, really well done. Then you got Barry Bowes, who had his issues. We saw Will Robinson stuck in the kitty litter over there, and same with Mia Lavelle. And then you got Julian DaCosta. These were all folks that had their issues with some sand trap stuff. And then Noah Harmon and Adrian Vlastowski, we never really quite found out what had happened to them. Borsted Jr. As well. Corey Day had trouble early on. Don't know. I will speculate here that he scooped stuff up, and that probably was what would have ended his day. But this young man, it's all his day. Tristan McKee, you've made it. I mean, you're here. You've shown yourself to the world right now, and congratulations.
He's going to open that door up and crawl out.
Oh, he's so little, he don't need a door.
Yeah, probably right.
Those doors are only for, you know, the drivers like me in their 40s and too much belly. But there's Misty showing her love to all the drivers and directing them where they need to be. They'll send the rest of the podium back up to Tech. So it'll be a little bit, you know, before the others get a ride down from Tech, because otherwise it kind of crowds the paddock here. You got Ernie Becker here, the driver development. So Tristan and Ernie have gotten to know each other quite good over this time. Got Jared coming in behind him, the winner of Pro-Am. Look, young man's fresh.
Yeah.
Everything I said about being young and this heat, he doesn't bother this one at all.
Hasn't even broken into a sweat.
No, that young man is fresh. He could have done another 100 miles.
Had the hat ready inside the car and everything.
Yeah, that's pro.
Not his first rodeo.
No. I'd say maybe that group there is doing a good job with that off-track training, because that's some off-track training there to say you have your hat with you.
PR.
You got Nick Middleton from Cube 3 Architecture there.
Lads Dennis.
Yeah.
PR side of things right there. The gray hat.
So, really happy for this group. It's been a while since they've got to celebrate
let's go
like this.
Let's go ahead and go downstairs to Ben Sissel so we can hear from the winner.
Congratulations. So we got to take care of some family business. Right now, Tristan McKee, very close, but the second youngest driver to win a Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series race. How was your race out there, Tristan?
I mean, it was phenomenal. You know, we led every lap, pretty much dominated the whole race, so it was a really good race. I just really got to thank all my guys, all these SLR M1 race cars crew. They bought all three of us drivers a really good car. You know, we qualified 1, 2, 3 and ran there a lot, so they did a great job preparing these cars, and I just got to thank all of them.
Nice. Well, congratulations. Yeah, he's out of breath. I heard Adam saying, you know, they were worried about some of the younger drivers, but obviously he's looking good. He's a little bit out of breath. I saw Alan grab him some water right away, but nice race out there. Are you proud of your big brother?
Yeah.
She had to think about it a little bit, though, Tristan. Then we come over here to our winner in Pro-Am. Unbelievable race. Where is he? Jared Odrick in the black underwear, cool box car. Out, how was your race?
It's good. I mean, look at this hat, right? I'm bulging out of this hat. Racing isn't really made for my optics or my size, but I think that's what we fight through every week, and this is what Troy and Evan, the whole team brings, right? It's really helping my driver's shoes and become a real driver. And I'm slowly doing that here in the TA2 Series, and I'm so thankful to my fiance Crystal and everybody who came to support, like my boy Mike from OSU. We got Buckeyes here, bro. We're bringing Buckeyes.
Penn State's bringing Buckeyes here. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, it's all love afterwards. It's all love. You know, I'll send him a dirty text or two when game day comes up, but I don't drink anymore, so my game day wordsmith goes down.
Nice. Well, Jared Odrick first in Pro-Am. Tristan McKee first in TA2 National. We're about to have a great winner circle celebration here. I'll send it back up to you guys in the booth.
Oh, thank you, Ben Sissel, and what a great interview with both those drivers. And like I said, Tristan is not showing his age at all with that interview and with the preparation, and looks like a hot one. Both of those drivers looked absolutely tired and cooked and just trying to catch their breath, adrenaline taking over, because that was a tough, long day. This is a physical racetrack here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, but great job by both these drivers and this whole Cube 3 Architecture TA2 group.
But we're not done here, even though the race is over. We got a little bit more coverage for you live from here at Mid-Ohio, so stay with us. We're going to just take a short break, come right back to the victory podium area. Here, the winner's circle on Speed Sport 1.
Rev up and get ready for race day with Mission Foods. The world's best racers and tastiest products come together to make every race delicious. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy-to-make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Okay, so pretend this is your race car. It's on the trailer, and you have an accident. Ouch! At least your truck's insurance will pay for another one? Yeah, not so fast. Standard insurance won't replace your race car, whether it's in the trailer, in the paddock, in the garage, or the repair shop. But at Hagerty, we can protect it for what it's really worth anytime it's off the track. No matter what or where you race, offer less than a set of race tires. Hagerty, let's drive together.
What does it mean to be built with Summit? It means you're hitting the autocross, drag strip, road course, trail, dirt, or open road with confidence. Because built with Summit means you're using parts from the top names in performance. Priced to make your project affordable. And it's all backed by trusted tech expertise and blazing fast shipping. Summit Racing Equipment. Let's build it together. SummitRacing.com.
Back here at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, we just had a fantastic finish of our Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series race here. We have 3 different chassis manufacturers that took over this podium. With you got Tristan McKee in the M1, you have Rafa Matos that was in the Howe, and you have Thomas Annunziata in the Cope. We're going to go down to Ben Sissel, and we're going to hear this podium celebration. We're going to hear from all the top 3 in Pro-Am and in National Championship points.
All right. Come on now, come on, let's get loud. Winner's circle here with the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli, the Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Series. We're actually going to start with the National in the TA2 Series. So, in 3rd place, he has 2 wins here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Running each 2 on this race. Nick Middleton handing him the trophy. Thomas, come on over here. Can't wait to talk to you. Then, with 3 wins at Mid-Ohio, our most winning driver ever in the Trans Am Series, Concord American Flagpole, Silver Hair Racing. Let's hear it for Rafa Matos. There we go, Mid-Ohio. That's the energy we're looking for. Let's hear the Buckeyes, too. There we go. Steve's got me. I like that. And then, ladies and gentlemen, talk about the seasoned veterans, the most winning drivers in TA2. This one might be here pretty soon, but he's coming up to the top of our youngest Architecture TA2 Series, driving this beautiful Gainbridge Franklin Road Spire Motorsports. Let's hear it for Tristan McKee, driving with Team SLR M1 race cars. Wakeman off the hot seat here yet. What a race. This may have been the best TA2 race of the season. You feeling good?
Very much so, but the heat, I feel glad all the drivers have made it out safely here. The temperature here today is so hot. Those cars got to be 120, 130 degrees in the car. But congratulations to all the drivers, all the crew, and all the fans that have come out here today. Thank you very much for coming out for the race today, and we look forward to the next one in Road America in a week's time.
Nice, yeah, a week's time at Road America. Merrill. Crazy one out there. How you feeling? Tell me about your race.
I'm pretty spent, man. It was hot out there. I was doing great until I ran out of water in my drink bottle about halfway through, but it was fun coming up through the field. The Cope crew put together a heck of an HP Tuners Camaro for us. I couldn't believe how good it was, particularly on the short run, which worked in our favor with all the yellows. But these 2, class of the field, they were awesome. Full credit to them. Congrats to the M1 guys and Tristan on a great win. Well deserved.
How about that? Come on now, get loud for Thomas Merrill, Mike Cope Race Cars, then our most TA2 driver, Rafa Matos. You were up there. You almost had it a few times. Tell me about your race.
Yeah, I was trying very hard to keep Tristan under pressure, and I was hoping he would make a mistake, but the kid threw it wet. In the beginning, but the SHR boys did a fantastic job prepping the car and making sure we had a competitive piece for today, and I kept the pressure on Tristan, hoping that I was going to make a mistake, but he was definitely the class of the field. But we keep chipping away. The Concord American Flagpole car is in great shape. I think we will have a great car for Road American, looking for another win and jump the wins.
Nice. How about that? Rafa Matos, ladies and gentlemen, he has won 3 times here. Tristan, you are in a TA2 champion sandwich. And with the way your season is going, I think you're going to be crowned a champion here pretty soon. Take the mic, tell us about your race.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for, to be the champion when it comes to the last race. But I just got to give thanks to all the SLR guys. They brought a really good car. You know, it's prepared. We unloaded off the trailer really fast and stayed fast all weekend. So all props to them. You know, I did a lot of studying and preparation for this race, and it really paid off. So just thanks to Josh Wise, Scott Speed, you know, Spire Motorsports, Chevrolet, Gainbridge, and once again, all the SLR crew.
Nice. All right, now Mid-Ohio. Here. Come on now. Thomas Merrill, third place. Rafa Mato, second. Tristan McKee, first place. Got Cope race cars represented, Silver Hair race cars, and then Team SLR M1. Oh, here wants a hat. There you go. Nice. A perfect pass. Thomas Merrill. How about that? Come on, Mid-Ohio. Keep up this energy. It's a little bit hot out here. Rafa, who wants a Rafa hat? Come on now. Oh, they do. Right there, Rafa. Oh, who wants a stress cube? I like that. I like that. All right, now hold up the cubes, hold up your trophies, put the orange hats on. Now, come on, Mid-Ohio. You got to get a lot louder than that. Thomas Merrill, Rafa Mato, two of our most seasoned veterans in TA2. And then possibly the future of motorsports in North America in Tristan McKee. Oh. Tristan's sister wasn't sure about catching it from a competitor. So this is the Cool Box. These are the certificates for Cool Box, keeping everybody cool on such a hot day. How about a round of applause for Cool Box? Rafa Mato, Thomas McKee, and then we have the Pirelli hats. Two of these drivers are going to be able to get champagne, and I don't know if you guys can guess which one won't. Ooh, he's going. He almost dove for it. There you go. Oh, almost to Steve. There we go. Come on now. All right, let's get loud. One more time, Mid-Ohio. Hold up those trophies. Thomas Merrill in third. How's that? All right, now here we go with champagne. Now just a reminder, we're racing at Road America next weekend. All right, come on now, get loud, Mid-Ohio. Thomas Merrill, Rafa Matos, Tristan McKee. But I want to hurry because I want to get these drivers up here. So it's in Pro-Am. Where is Cale Phillips? There we go. We've got some Cale Phillips fans up here. Second place in Pro-Am, running the HP Tuners car. Let's hear it for Keith Prochuk. Where's Keith Prochuk? Cale, nice job. Keith, nice job. And then in first place, gentlemen, let's hear it. Jared Odrick running the black underwear Cool Box. TRB Autosports car. All right, guys. Talking to Nick Middleton. Jared Odrick up here. Jared, take the top step, and what we're going to do, we're going to go backwards. Jared, I want to hear from you first. That was such a hard-fought battle. Take the mic. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, no, it was tough. Obviously, it's hot. We're all trying to keep our composure and catch our breath here. But no, it was awesome. You know, Prochuk and I were close all race. He was in my mirrors all race, and then at the end there, he actually overtook me going into 8-9. Because I had let some national guys go through to keep a clean race. And then he passed me. It looked like he got a little wide in 9, and he had to wait to get on throttle, and I was able to get on throttle a little bit earlier. And I was able to take it with 2 corners left, and it was so dramatic. I can't wait to watch the tape. And just having the support of ex-teammates coming means a lot. It means a lot to have the support of teammates that are kind of circling the wagon, maybe joining TRB. Hopefully we have some new faces before the end of the season. We'd like to see that, and the support of my fiance is unmatched. Elbows in my back before I fall asleep is second to none, so thank you, Crystal. I love it. And my opponents, they're the best, and they're great competitors.
Nice. I love it. Now, our comments are blowing up for the Pee Wee Herman dance. I spoke to Jared. Now, he wants to reinvent himself as a race car driver. Crystal, Jared promised me by next race he's going to have a new dance invented for Victory Lane. I'm going to talk to Keith. I'm going to talk to Cale. But right now, Ralph, I need to send it back up to you in the booth.
Thank you. Yeah, we're going to have to close things out here at Mid-Ohio. With our Speed Sport 1 coverage. We've reached that time of the day. Sure hope you've enjoyed it live from here at Mid-Ohio. Don't forget, we will be back next week live here on Speed Sport 1 on Saturday and Sunday from beautiful Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, with the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli and the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli Cube 3 Architecture TA2 Championship as well. Both those races live for you on Speed Sport 1 next Saturday and Sunday. Lots of action here today. Gian Bufamonte having his problems. Adrian Vostovsky had his as well. But boy, nobody could run with Tristan McKee here today. Even the great Rafa Matos chased him and pressured him, but couldn't get it done. That'll take care of it from here today. We'll see you next week from Road America. For Adam Andretti and Ben Sissel, I'm Ralph Sheheen. So long from the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course in Lexington, Ohio. Congratulations, Tristan McKee, on becoming the second youngest winner in the history of Trans Am. So long, everybody.